Hey guys, it's Frank Wyatt. I'm a certified grief recovery specialist, and I just wanted to talk to you today just for a few moments about how to deal with missing loved ones at Christmas. This may be your first holiday, Christmas, without that special one, or it could be number ones. Either way, you're grieving. And I just wanted to talk to you a minute about grief and how important it is just to acknowledge your feelings. You want to allow yourself to grieve. You don't want to try to suppress your emotions, my friends. You know, it's okay to feel sad, angry, or lonely, and you want to allow yourself to cry. You want to talk about your loved one. You want to express your feelings in whatever way feels right for you. And you don't want to be one that you have to be strong for everybody else. You don't want to put on what they call that academy award type of a person saying you're okay when you're not okay. You don't want to be strong for others. We hear that a lot. That's a myth, and we're going to be talking about that sometime soon. But you don't want to compare your grief. Everyone grieves differently. There's no right way or no wrong way to feel. You don't want to judge your emotions or compare yourself and your experiences to others. Your grief is real for you. You may have lost a child, you may have lost a father, a mother, a brother, a spouse, a husband, or a wife. You know, in the program, the grief recovery method, we talk about over 40 different types of grief and other than just death. But right now, we're focusing on missing loved ones at Christmas. So, grief is the normal and natural emotion reaction to loss or change of any kind, or itself of itself. Grief is neither a pathological condition nor a personality disorder. Grief is the conflicting feelings caused by the end or a change, a familiar pattern of behavior. When somebody dies, that's important to us. What does it do? It represents in to what has been familiar for us, and we must adapt to the new reality that after somebody meaningfully dies that we're close to. And we're going to talk about conflicting feelings. Say you're a caretaker for your loved one that passed. Maybe they had cancer, maybe they had some type of medical condition, and you've seen them suffer year after year and year after year. In a sense, when a person dies, you at the fact that they're no longer in pain. You may feel relieved in a sense as you also have that sadness, and that's what they cause call conflicting feelings. And I hope that's making sense. I'm going to talk to you today real quick, and we're going to be getting into the myths of grief. You know, as you think about are your 20s, your 30s, up to 70s, 80s, 90s, go back to as a child. And sometimes as a child, we're not taught to deal with our feelings. We're not taught how to express them. So let's talk about the fact of children not able to express their feelings when something happens. Let's talk about a child in our society. By the time they've reached the age of 15, They have received 23,000 inputs suggesting that only should not only have a bad reaction to a grief event, but they shouldn't share those feelings with others. The second part leads to one of another. Let's talk about the myths of grief. Number one myth that people hear, they say, don't feel bad. We should never compare our losses, and we never compare myths. But we should start out at our list of 6 different myths, okay? And let's talk about a kid, as I was getting into earlier, and I apologize that I got ahead of my notes here. But let's illustrate the fact of a very young child that has never been taught how to deal with their feelings. Let's take an example about a little child. He comes home from preschool with their feelings hurt by events with the other children on the playground. Mom, dad, grandma, or the teacher says, "Hey, what happened?" The child responds tearfully that one of the kids was mean to her. The caretaker says, "Don't cry here, have a cookie, you'll feel better." Thus, setting this child up with a lifetime belief from an important authority source that fills with food. Upon eating the cookie, the child feels different, not better, and for the moment is distracted and forgets about the incident on the playground because they had the cookie. However, there had been no completion of the emotional pain caused by the event. The event and the feeling attached to it are now buried under the cookie, the sugar, and the distraction. If the child was to bring it up again, guess what happens? The child would probably be told, "We don't cry over spilled milk," as to say it's not okay to bring it up again. So it must stay buried. I want to make a statement to you right now. As human beings, we are equipped with the capability to feel and express all emotions, happy and sad, everything in between. If our earliest emotions tells us not to feel bad, as if that teaching comes from parents, teachers, and others, then we have almost no choice but to believe figures. We may have some good intention friends and maybe some family members that are telling you not to feel love your loved one in a better place, but that doesn't take the fact that you're hurting. And my friends, my heart goes out to you today. I don't know what you're experiencing. I truly, truly don't. I don't know how you're feeling, but I can't compare my loss with your loss. I'm speaking to you, somebody that cares about you and somebody who wants to help you get through this. I am Frank White again. I'm with the Grief Recovery Specialist and the Grief Recovery Method. And it's a program that actually teaches you action steps to recover. It's not a grief support group, but it's a, again, as I said, a program to help you acknowledge your grief and to provide you action steps to you deal with your loss. I'm going to put on the screen right here again what grief is, 2 examples. Grief is the conflicting feelings caused by the end or a change in a familiar pattern of behavior. And let's look at one more example of the definition of grief. Grief is the normal and natural emotional reaction to the loss or change of any kind. Of itself, grief is neither a pathological condition nor a personality disorder. I'm making this video on December the 7th, 2024. If you want to reach me, you can give me a call at 937-732-5868, or you can email me at frank@frankwyatt.com. I'm going to be starting a 8-week program on the grief recovery method. And if you'd be interested in that, you can give me a call and I'd be glad to share this with you. It's been a while since I made a video, and I just pray that you got something out of this. And again, we care about you at the Grief Recovery Institute. And there's numerous grief recovery method specialists throughout the world, and I'm just one of them. So I hope you have a good evening, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.